Hello, everybody.
Well, as to Mr. Curry, I have in front of me a request for a pro se request for a sentence modification as well as not sure what else, dispositional detainer.
Yeah, I wrote those while I was in another county, so
Okay.
the dispositional detainer doesn't.
Okay.
But I just wanted to. I didn't know if I was eligible for a sentence modification or not.
Well, Your Honor, I'll need to speak with Mr. Curry. Sounds like he was in another county until recently.
All right. Let's go ahead and put Mr. Watts and Mr. Curry in a breakout session at this point and allow those two to confer. Okay, Mr. Watts, are you ready to go on this?
Yes, sir. It's my understanding he's going to stipulate to the violations.
Mandy, we're still recording and broadcasting?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Just need to get Ms. Norris back on and we can go.
One moment, Judge. Thank you. Sorry.
Time the court will call the case of State of Kansas versus Alex Michael Curry. It's case number 2022 CR 210. Alex Curry appears from the Butler County Detention Center Zoom location. James Watts appears as defense counsel. Amber Norris appears on behalf of the state. This is a warrant to show cause matter alleging probation violation. We're noting that a proceeding was held on probation violation on September 29 of 2023. The defendant was then released back onto community corrections with probation extended to December of 2024. All right, if you could clear something up for the court, Ms. Stanfill, I note that the arrest warrant to show cause appears to have been filed with the clerk's office on February the 7th. Your signing date was February 6th of 2025.
Same thing.
Looks like it was sealed on February 6th, Your Honor. Per the clerk.
Is your request for court review of this case timely, Ms. Stanfill?
Yes, I filed a journal entry of modification when he was being supervised by Cali County, and it was filed on December 6th, 2024. I extended it for 1 year.
Very well. We'll proceed further. Mr. Watts, it is your client's intention to stipulate and agree that he committed the violations alleged?
That is my understanding, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Curry, that would means that you would be stipulating and agreeing to failing to report as directed, not working at suitable employment, apparently had positive tests for THC, amphetamine, and methamphetamine, positive for alcohol on another occasion, and not being engaged in outpatient treatment. Mr. Curry, do you understand that you do have a right to a due process hearing where the state would have the obligation of proving these allegations by a preponderance of the evidence? You can challenge the state's evidence with the assistance of your lawyer, present your own evidence, confront the state's witnesses unless good cause was shown. And I need to point out to you that among other lesser remedies, the court could consider outright revocation of your probation and having you serve the remaining balance of your sentence locked up in prison. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
And that your controlling sentence in this case is 10 months Department of Corrections custody. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
So do you waive a formal hearing in this case and stipulate and agree that you committed these violations?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. The court finds that Mr. Curry knowingly waives the hearing and stipulates and agrees that he committed the violations alleged in the warrant to show cause and outlined here on the record by the court. We'll now proceed to disposition in the case. I'll ask for recommendations from various persons, beginning with Amber Norris on behalf of the state of Kansas.
Your Honor, as previously noted, this is defendant's second warrant to show cause. He'd previously been before the court and has had one dip that was in 2023. And as noted by Ms. Stanfield, she has done a modification to extend his probation, which and the reason stated in the modification is additional time to successfully complete alcohol and drug treatment and to pay restitution in full. Your Honor, it's my understanding that the defendant has been in custody for some time. Most of that time he has been in Reno County. I think answering for a warrant to show cause there. And then obviously he came back to Butler in April. He has earned on this warrant 30 days of jail time credit. He came to our jail on April 17th, and today is May 16th. So he does have 30 days in the county jail. The court previously gave him a dip. Your Honor, it's my understanding that he's been accepted into, I think he's got something set up for inpatient. He's been accepted into, I think Reno County has a drug court program. And I think he's set up to maybe move into some sort of an Oxford house. The treatment bed is in Pittsburgh and for inpatient treatment, and it's to begin on May 22nd. Your Honor, we might make suggestion that the court hold him until closer to that date. I think it's my understanding that transportation, I think, is already arranged through maybe Reno County. But Your Honor, ask the court give defendant an appropriate sanction. Like I said, he's already been in for 30 days. It doesn't sound like he would need an extension of probation since he's already extended to December of 2025. I don't really know defendant's history on whether or not, I mean, he has had opportunity for treatment in this case, and has not ever completed it from what I understand. And obviously he's been on supervision in this case for a while now, as just based on the year of the case, 22 CR 210. But Your Honor, I do believe that a little bit of additional sanction besides the 30 days, and that he be ordered to complete all the previously ordered probation conditions, which includes treatment, which he has yet to finish up. And then the court will need to address additional court-appointed attorney's fees and the bids application fee.
Very well, Ms. Norris. Mr. Watts, your recommendations regarding an appropriate disposition here?
Well, I'll be very brief. We join the recommendation of the state of the DIP, place him back on probation and complete this program.
I think Ms. Norris had actually suggested to this court that we hold your client until his treatment bed opens up. Now, first of all, the court has some reservations about whether Mr. Curry should even qualify for an inpatient bed. He's been locked up apparently for weeks. I would think any detox that would be connected with inpatient treatment has already been satisfied by his extended jail stints. But with that said, are you contemplating a recommendation consistent with Ms. Norris that we hold him until May 22nd, when apparently he's eligible for transport to an inpatient facility?
Judge, I will speak for my client here. I'd like to get out today, I'm sure, but a hold till May 22nd, which at this point is about 6 days away, seems to be appropriate here.
All right, so noted. Ms. Stanfield, you've listened to what's been suggested to the court here. Is there anything that you would like to add?
No, the only thing, just to let you know, his mother was going to make arrangements if he just got a 3-day dip. His mother was going to make arrangements with Second Chance Sober Living for him to stay there until Reno County picked him up on the 22nd. And she was going to bring him clothes for inpatient. But if you decide to keep him there, mother can always take clothes to the jail for him to go into inpatient.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Curry, at this time, the court will address you personally and ask you if you have any statements that you wish to make in mitigation of punishment here.
Your Honor, I just want to let, I remember when I got sentenced, by you a while back, and one of the things you wanted me to do was to obtain my high school diploma and my GED. While I was in here, I applied to get into the Orion program, and I talked to Mr. Friesen, and he's got me a paper right here. It's set up for Reno County at ESDAC, and they're currently closed right now, but the school, he said I can enroll in August to try to get my high school diploma. So, you know, because that's something that I want to do. And I've been working on while I was in here.
Okay. It's good to hear. Anything else, Mr. Curry?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Curry, I originally sentenced you apparently in December of 2022. Your probation should have been completed by now. This court has little optimism that you're really motivated to successfully complete probation in this case. I find myself wondering if really we just shouldn't have you do your time, which might have the net result of you getting revoked also in Reno County. You could be looking at a considerable amount of prison time here, Mr. Curry. I mean, it's not like you haven't had explained to you in uncertain terms what you needed to do to successfully complete your probation, and you don't seem to do any of it. You don't report, you don't, since your probation is treatment focused, you haven't completed or taken treatment seriously. It's only when you're on the brink of prison do I see that you're apparently dedicated to making progress on your case, and it's awfully late in the game for that. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Curry? Do you have a response for me?
I don't think it's too late, Your Honor. I'm pretty motivated right now, and I don't think it's ever too late. You know, I mean, I don't want to do this no more. You know, I really don't.
Well, I kind of listened to your comment. It's never too late. Well, actually, it is for some people, because it gets too late for them. They end up doing their prison time. Now, as far as after they get out of prison, can they still work on substance abuse issues after they do their prison stint? Yeah, some people do that. And you're dangerously close to that, Mr. Curry. But here's the way the court sees it at this point, Mr. Curry. Should your community corrections officer recommend to this court that we just declare this a defeat, and I could certainly see grounds for that, that's probably what the court would do. Just find this to be one of those unsuccessful probation cases and have you do your time, because you certainly haven't done much to show that probation was the right alternative for you. But it does appear that there are some things in place now that give you one last chance, Mr. Curry. And maybe, just maybe, you're ready to take advantage of that one last chance. In other words, having treatment set up and a plan for where you're going to stay, when you're going to do it. I think the court wants to give you that one last chance, Mr. Curry. So I'm going to follow the recommendations in this case. I'm going to order you, though, to stay in custody until May 22nd. Who would be transporting you to the facility, Mr. Curry?
Reno County.
Okay. Well, I presume Reno County will know that you're going to be picked up at the Butler County Jail on that date, and that your mother apparently can bring you clothes there to the jail so that you can then be transported by Reno County to the treatment facility. The court will require you to complete the treatment originally ordered. complete any other unsatisfied condition of your original probation or any subsequent order. The court's expectations is that you not only complete a treatment program, Alex, but you also complete any aftercare recommendations which are made. You're going to need some reinforcement for a while, and I think you would even agree with that.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're going to need to successfully that portion of your program as well. All additional bids assessments would be waived in this case. He's been in jail. He doesn't have the financial resources to pay more. Anything that's still unpaid from his previous orders remains to be collected in the case. All is immediately due, payable, and collectible. We're just not going to add any more to it. I do note that pursuant to the extension order referred to by Ms. Stanfield, it appears that Mr. Curry will be on probation in this case, I think to December of 2025, Teresa?
Yes, Your Honor.
But I don't see the need for an extension at this point because Alex, you're going to have everything all done by then, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's the right answer. That's the right answer. And I just hope that you have the motivation this time to do it because you, like I said, this is your last chance. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Good luck. Alex, I'd rather just see you complete the treatment that you obviously need, stay out of trouble, follow your other probation conditions, work with Teresa or any other community corrections officer, and still be a successful completion of this case.
Thank
can
you.
do it. I think you can do it. All right. Ms. Norris, is there any other specific order that the court needs to make at this time?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. So he's going to do from now until May 22nd as a sanction, then be reinstated on community corrections at that time in this case. Mr. Watts, anything further we need to address here?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Stanfield, do you need any further clarification from the court?
Well, I don't need clarification, but I do want to make sure the jail, he is supposed to check into inpatient in Pittsburgh, Kansas at 10 a.m. So if he's ready and able to leave the jail by 7:30 or 8 a.m., Reno County should be there at that time to pick him up.
Yeah, we can schedule that.
Okay, thank you. We appreciate that. We want Alex to get there on time and get off to a good start.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Curry.
Thank you.
Nothing further. The Alex Curry matter will be in recess at this time.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.